So, it's time for
The power rankings.
What did you think I was going
I thought it was the Would You Rather segment.
It's not that one
The
yet.
power rankings.
More power. All right. Power rankings brought to you by Power Bill.
Powerade.
Powerade. Where is it? Do you have a Powerade?
No.
You didn't bring me one. Oh, because your picks are on there. I would say grab my phone, but it's filming because I am the workhorse of this work relationship. All good.
The house that Joey Riccatoni built.
Everybody, bring it up. Okay, power rankings. Let's do it this week. Let's go. You give yours. Okay. And then I'll give mine instead of going back and forth.
All right.
Because I actually got to rewrite mine down. So you go, explain all your picks.
So at my number 5 spot, I got Seattle. I still think they're a contender, but after the game against Buffalo, I'm a little less certain about that defense. And it's like if Russ doesn't play perfectly, they're not going to win games because they're always so tight anyways, and that's with Russ playing unbelievably well.
Yeah.
You know? So they're my number 5 spot. I still think I'm still happy with them as my Super Bowl pick, but you know, that defense is just not that promising right now. And I think Carlos Dunlap had a huge game against Buffalo, and I think the more he gets involved, the better that defense is going to be.
Right.
But
Jamal Adams too. He hasn't.
Yeah, get him healthy, get him back up to speed. I think they'll be better than they showed in Buffalo, but it was just really bad.
Yeah.
My number 4 spot is Baltimore.
Okay.
They were at my 5 last week. But, I mean, they came out, they played a really good game against the Colts. Nothing flashy. They held the Colts to 10 points. You know, the defense is playing well as soon as they get all their guys back. And Lamar Jackson is still explosive enough to win games. I don't know when you get to the playoffs if he's going to be able to win games, but... And they kind of just need to let Lamar be Lamar. Don't make him a pocket passer. Don't try and have him be a pocket passer. Let him be Lamar, and you saw that against the Colts again.
Right. Well, I think that's the issue is that other, good defenses can force him to be a pocket passer.
Yeah.
That's the tough thing. So they're definitely going to be, it'll be easy enough for them against those teams that don't have that going forward in the regular season. But playoff-wise, everyone's dialed in,
Yeah. My number 3, I got New Orleans. That big win in Tampa Bay, I'm usually a little hesitant to be convinced after one game, but just the way they showed up and they were clicking on all cylinders, like offense, defense, special teams. You know, you got a QB that's been there before. You got a head coach that's been there before. You got, for my money, the best running back in the league.
Yeah.
You got one of the best receivers in the league.
Definitely.
And if they're all on the same page, all clicking, they're one of the most complete teams in football, if not 100%. The most.
And the supporting cast isn't bad either. I mean, Taysom Hill, we've talked about at length.
Yeah, and they've figured out how to use him more than just 3 or 4 plays a game.
Right.
He's getting a lot more snaps, and they're using him in even more creative ways than we're used to seeing.
Right. As weird of a comparison as this sounds, it's like Tyreek Hill was not a number 1 receiver when he first came into the league. He was a gadget and punt return guy, and I'm not comparing the athleticism of the two, but they're...
all the things that they can do for your offense, right?
Yeah, 100%.
And you know what? Watching Taysom Hill bothers me because I'm like, if Tim Tebow just would have gotten his ego out of the way, he could have been that for some team.
Yeah, I think
if he was not like, I'm only playing quarterback, I won't change positions, I won't be used as a gadget player. If he hadn't done that, he would have been the first Taysom Hill.
For sure, but
he's a little slower than Taysom Hill. It
also takes a very imaginative and advanced coach like Sean Payton, though, because I think Tebow just would have been relegated to being a tight end because that's what they wanted to put him at, and he would have been like a hand in the dirt, push the sled and catch a couple passes kind of guy. Because we're talking...
Yeah, I mean, if the situation was right. Now. But I still think that,
if he
they're the same kind of guy.
If he was in Taysom Hill's position, 100% he could have been, elite.
My number 2 spot, I got Kansas City.
Okay.
They just, again, we always talk about it. They haven't really been tested that much. Like, that game against Carolina was really close.
Mm-hmm.
But, again, I'm really high on Carolina, and Pat Mahomes had himself a huge game.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just, they haven't done anything for me to be like, they're not legit.
Right. They're
that
still
defense,
defending champs.
Yeah, they're still the defending champs, and they're winning games, and the other teams that we had above them have lost games.
Mm-hmm.
So they're going to keep climbing until they lose.
Okay.
And then number 1, we've talked about them, Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm not convinced from that close game against the Cowboys that they're not the real deal. Like, it was like get caught off guard,
yeah.
Show up a little flat. Like, that's normal when you come in and play a team that's looked horrible.
Yeah, like, not just like, oh, they're not a great team. It's like they're the laughing stock of the league right now.
They're starting Garrett Gilbert. Who is that? So it's normal to kind of be caught off guard. You have no film on a guy like Garrett Gilbert. You can't prepare for him.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not worried about Pittsburgh at all, even after the Cowboys game.
Definitely.
They're still my number 1 team.
And it's not like they don't have amazing receivers and one of the best running backs in the league as well.
Yeah.
So they're not slouches in that sense. It's just without Dak and with all the injuries to their O-line, they're not what they were, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, the talent's still there. They came to play, but whatever.
So yeah, that's my top 5.
That's pretty good. So quick rundown, just from five to 1, just to cap it off.
One moment, please. Okay, so 5 Seattle, 4 Baltimore, 3 New Orleans, 2 Kansas City, number 1 Pittsburgh.
Okay. All right. Number 5, I got the Tampa Bay Bucs.
Still got them.
Still got them. I still think they're a top 5 team. I think that was a rough loss. I think those things happen. Just
For sure.
Tom Brady, I think with him at the helm, it's like moving on to Cincinnati.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong. I think Tampa Bay is my sixth team.
Yeah.
They're not like falling out of the picture for me. It's just,
is it over for Tampa Bay?
Is Tom Brady retiring?
Which was probably a segment. Both were probably segments on First Take.
Yep.
Suck. But I got Tampa. Still totally believe in them. I still think they're top. I don't think there are what's the math on that? 27 teams.
No.
That could even sniff their jock straps right now. So I still got them in the top 5. Got them at number 5. Rough loss bumps them down a couple spots, but I think they're gonna rebound. I think Tom Brady is not going to fold, and I think I still totally believe in the AB move, and I think he's going to show up this week.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing about the AB move that I'm a little concerned about is, like, Bruce Arians has already kind of come out against him, even after the game. He's like, we need to throw the ball to Mike Evans more.
Right.
And it's like, Mike Evans got 6 targets, AB got 6 targets, Chris Godwin got 6 targets, Gronk got 6 targets.
Right.
How much more do you want him to distribute the ball?
Right. More than anything, their offensive line needs to hold, but I think the thing that separates Tom Brady and the system he came from is adjustments. Halftime adjustments, mid-season adjustments. Remember, in their last Super Bowl run, Gronk turned into a hand-in-the-dirt tight end, and they were a double tight end set power running team. So they're going to make the needed adjustments. Tom has enough pull to do those things in Arians' offense, and he's going to say, look, we can't be having these long developing plays. I'm getting killed, and Tristan Wirfs isn't ready to protect for long periods of time yet. So, I think they're going to make those moves, and we'll see this Sunday. But number 4, I got Green Bay.
Back?
They're back. To me, they were another team where they were still in the conversation,
for sure.
right? I don't think the San Francisco game is like that.
It doesn't really mean much to me.
It doesn't mean much, but I was kind of like looking more and more. And they've also been dealing with a lot of injuries.
Yeah.
So as guys start to get healthier down the stretch, they could be a team that just switches it on. And I see Aaron Rodgers as a guy, especially the way he's carried himself this season, and his general love for the game that it seems like there is, and the looming Jordan Love thing, especially as the season gets more and more down the line and the transition team starts to come out more in terms of the front office and what the future of the Packers are going to look like. I think he's he's gearing up and he's ready for a run. So I got him at the number 4.
And I mean, Devontae Adams is playing out of his mind.
Yeah, that thing. It's like the win against San Francisco didn't mean much, but his performance and Rodgers' performance, it was like that.
They just looked like they were throwing the ball around in the park. Like they were just having a great time.
And that means a lot in terms of that connection. That means a lot in terms of a playoff run. So sure. I got them, and Aaron Jones is
he's back
top 3 guy. Top 5 guy. Top 5 within their scheme as well. Playing with the quarterback he plays with. Number 3, I got the Saints.
Yep.
They're in. They're looking good. Totally different team with Michael Thomas around. Defense is coming alive. All the things we've talked about. Alvin Kamara, Taysom Hill, Michael Thomas, Emmanuel Sanders. They're very, very, very talented with all of those guys on. And I think Drew Brees is rejuvenated having Michael Thomas back out. I think that win is something that's going to compound. And especially if they now have the tiebreakers against Tampa Bay, that's going to go a long way. And I think that's going to keep driving them forward, right? Number 2, the Chiefs.
Yep. It's the same top 3.
Yeah, same top 3. So Chiefs, all the same reasons. Patty Mahomes.
It's just hard to bet against the guy, right?
Yeah,
it's just
he's just such a game changer, man. And Tyreek Hill. How could you not love
Travis
him?
Kelce, 3rd in the league in receiving yards as a tight end.
That's crazy. Jackson Mahomes.
Best
TikToker I've ever seen.
Yeah, agreed.
So how could you not love him? And number 1, we got the Steelers. This whole run, my Super Bowl pick, got to keep repeating it. This all lies on Ben Roethlisberger staying healthy going forward. I think that's the only thing that's going to be able to hold them back. Totally believe in their defense. I love Juju. Love Chase Claypool. James Conner's an animal.
Yep.
And I think they got what it takes. And that's the thing, man. Playoff football. November, December. That changes everything. And I think they're the best equipped to win in those months because it had been.
And your quarterback can play in cold weather.
100%. And he can play through injuries. So
yeah.
The Patriots aren't around anymore to dominate December going forward, so I think that crown now goes to the Steelers because I don't think Baltimore is legit in that sense. They're not on my top.
No, it's not Baltimore. Kansas City is gonna.
It's gonna be Kansas City and Pittsburgh for sure in the AFC. That's the way I feel at least. And so that's the top 5.